Everybody's going to say the Las Vegas Raiders won the 2026 NFL Draft. And I get it. You get the number one pick, you take a quarterback, you change your franchise. That's the headline. That's what everybody sees. But that's not how you win a draft. Because the draft isn't about one player. It's about how many impact players you can walk away with. And when you actually break this entire draft down, player rankings, draft value, positional importance, and total roster impact, there's one team that clearly did it better than everybody else. And it's not the Raiders. Because every single year, people make the same mistake. They judge the draft like this: who got the best player, who got the quarterback. But that's surface level. That's casual analysis. We're not doing that. We're breaking this down like a front office. Did you draft players above their value? Did you hit premium positions? Did you stack multiple starters? Did you actually build a team? Because the goal isn't to win round one. The goal is to win the entire draft. Now that the draft has calmed down a bit, let me reveal who won this draft. This is DRDTakes, and let's talk about it. The team that won the 2026 NFL Draft is the New York Jets. And once you really look at what they did, this wasn't close. Let's start at the top. The Jets didn't just draft good players. They drafted impact players at multiple positions. They came away with David Bailey, Kenyon Sadiq, Omar Cooper Jr., and D'Angelo Pons. That's 4 players in the first 50 picks that can all realistically contribute early. That alone separates them. Most teams get 1, maybe 2. The Jets, they stacked. And it starts with David Bailey. David Bailey at number 2 overall. This is not just a safe pick. This is their franchise defensive piece. We're talking about a player who led the nation with 14.5 sacks, had 19.5 tackles for loss, elite explosiveness off the edge. This is the type of player that changes games by himself. And here's the key. Edge rushers is a premium position. You don't win the NFL without pressures. So the Jets didn't just draft a good player. They drafted one of the most important players you can have. Then they came back and take Kenyon Sadiq. And this is where things start to get dangerous. Because Sadiq is not a traditional tight end. He's a weapon. 51 catches, 560 yards, 8 touchdowns, and led tight ends in receiving touchdowns. But the real value is versatility. He can line up in line, slot, out wide, even in motion packages. That stresses defenses. That creates mismatches. That makes life easier for your quarterback. Now this is the pick that might define this entire draft. Omar Cooper Jr. at pick 30. Let me say that again. Pick 30. This is the guy who had 937 yards, 13 touchdowns, played on a championship level team, and was graded as a top 20 player by multiple boards. That means the Jets got a mid-round talent at the very end of the first round. That's how you win drafts. Not hype, value. Then they go out and get D'Angelo Pons at 50. Another smart pick. Another player who fits exactly what they need. Ball skills, instincts, playmaking ability, 7 career interceptions, 30 plus pass breakups. This is not a flashy pick, but it's a winning pick. Because good teams don't just draft stars, they draft contributors. Now let's talk about the Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders took Fernando Mendoza at number 1. And yes, quarterback matters more than anything. But here's the truth nobody wants to say. If the roster isn't built, the quarterback doesn't matter. We see it over and over again. No protection, no weapons, no defense. And suddenly, that franchise quarterback is struggling. Meanwhile, the New York Jets, they didn't just get a piece. They built a pass rush, offensive weapons, secondary help, and depth. That's how you support a long-term team. This is the deciding factor. Count the impact players. The Jets have Bailey, starter, Sadiq, starter, weapon, Cooper, starter, Pons, contributor with upside. That's 4 real contributors. Most teams don't get that. That's why they win this draft. So yeah, if you want the headline, you say the Raiders. But if you actually understand how teams are built, it's the New York Jets. Because they didn't just win round 1, they won the entire draft. And if even half of these players hit, this team just changes future overnight. This is DRDTakes, and I need to know, who do you think won the draft? Because I promise you, most people are getting this one completely wrong. Thank y'all for watching, and God bless.